it. Good morning, boys and girls.
Wow, we're here.
All of us.
It's Monday. I have
We have not adjusted the volume,
how
so
we sound. I'm
sorry
terrified.
if we are very loud. That's okay, guys. This is exciting. We are all gathered together in one place. Frank is back in the state of Florida.
Welcome back, Frank.
Tim is in a spectacular mood.
Look, Victory Mondays just hit different. My kids were.
What holiday is this? What's Victory Monday? The Zags one? Is that why?
Yes.
Well, in the NFL, if your team wins, Monday becomes so that's known NFL nomenclature.
It's a national thing.
That is something that every team celebrates. My
Isn't
kids
it funny that Frank played college football and we have to explain things to him?
Well, we had Victory Sundays because
Victory Sunday is
Okay,
college
first of all,
football.
you didn't have very many. But
Wow.
We won like
Wow. I
our
am not. I
division.
don't approve of this message.
Whatever.
listen, the whole point in saying all that is that we're here.
We are.
Because yesterday was Sunday.
And this is the morning after.
Welcome to the Morning After Ministry Show, a caffeine-fueled look back on the week and ministry that was.
Hey, we're back. It's Monday. We've missed you. Yes, Ronald says immediate watch with that title.
Listen, we need people commenting today.
We want to hear
Frank
from you.
said that we're trying to set a record and that he's buying lunch if we do. So
If we get to 300 comments, Frank is buying lunch. He's also giving away gift cards.
It's coming straight out of that Cross and Crown budget that he's been
Wow.
raising for the past couple weeks.
Billions of dollars.
And
Get
we're
in the
excited.
comments right now.
We're excited.
Ask us
Pete-
questions. Talk
Pete
to us.
Polis says the Jets don't win, so I wouldn't know that lingo. Look, we've been there. Our teams don't win all the time. And if you root for a team like I do, you have to celebrate when they do it. It got very loud in my house. There was a lot of shouting. My daughters were laughing, but also slightly terrified when I began punching things and sprinting like back and forth. And then I had
It's
to have
got to be a scary thing.
It was so much fun.
I am at so there are
It
some
was so much
there are
fun.
some people. I'll use Robin Williams as an example, where he could go from like so silly and funny to like dead serious and kind of creepy. And I just always remember as a teenager being like, that would be so scary in a dad to have someone who can just like flip the switch like that. And now we know that there's a reason that he could get so dark and serious. But
What are you saying?
I'm not saying that you are
Are
struggling.
you
No, I'm-
accusing Frank? Are you hearing this?
No, I'm
That
saying
seemed
is
accusatory.
when someone can flip the switch and they're not even keeled, and maybe it's because I had a fairly even keeled father, so that's what I would want. But I'm imagining for your children, it's got to be a little bit scary to see dad elated 1 minute, crying the next, saying horrible things about Robert Saleh when he's trying to shake hands with Liam Cohen. I mean, I don't.
Some would call it a mental health crisis.
Some might. Others would call it bipolar disorder.
It's a very healthy outlet for me. I even had my son go out to the garage with me afterwards because I couldn't lift some of the weights because I wanted to lift that heavy, so I had to have him spot me lifting the weights last night. I was like, I'm going to lift as heavy as I've ever lifted in my life right now, and I'm just going to max out everything. He was like, Dad, what is... I'm like, I was so amped.
never finished watching a football game and be like, yeah, I'm going to go lift something.
I could not.
It's not. No, that's not true. Sometimes when I finish a football game, I'm like, I'm going to go lift buffalo chicken dip in a tortilla chip to my mouth. That's what I would like to lift.
Ronald's wondering how many drywall holes did I make. Look, there was some punching, but it was mostly out of excitement.
Air punching, excited punching.
Frank was just checking his fantasy. Frank, how are you doing in the Lakeview Church Fantasy Football League? Are you winning? Are you losing? Do you have a good record?
My record right now is 1-2.
I think I'm going to lose again. So I'm about to be 1-3.
And I'm losing right now. Geno Smith did not give me the points I hoped he would get over Dak Prescott. But
No.
I'm sorry.
A certain running
You
back
assumed that the Packers were going to shut Dak down last night. I get it.
and the running back. Oh my gosh,
Sorry, Frank.
I'm so disappointed. Dak got 37 points.
Well, the
Yeah, he
Cowboys
did.
put up
Gino
40.
got
Yeah,
me
he did.
16. I'm so
Not
mad.
acceptable.
ChatGPT told me to bench Dak because you're like, there's
Okay,
no way.
of all the things Chad has been right about, it has been wrong about fantasy football more often than not. I have stopped relying on Chat for fantasy football.
my
It's not
goodness.
helpful.
I could've
Listen,
won.
I had
It is
a
not
70% chance of
helpful.
winning going into last night, and I am very much losing.
City Lights Church says, sorry, I'm late. I was doing some weed. Haha, the perks of being the only staff member. What?
I hope he's doing weeding.
Oh, weed.
Weed
I missed
eating.
that part. That's my fault. I was about to say, you have a whole new reason to.
What's going on in Scranton?
Scranton,
Is this Scranton, Colorado?
the electrically high
Say,
city.
There's some things going on in Scranton.
Weed eating. Sorry about that. City Lights Church, not doing weed.
Doing weed.
It literally says was doing some weed eating.
Listen, Timmy, we know that you
Could be
knew
a brownie.
exactly what you were doing there.
What?
So
I didn't word that. He did.
this
He's looking for a
morning,
good church. They're super laid back. They're casual. It's kind of just like whatever happens, happens.
they're
Loves
they're
tie-dye.
into
They have great snacks. City Lights Church.
oh boy.
I love everything.
Wow. Listen,
Pete says weed eating don't sound any better.
so this morning Frank and I get here. I've got most of the gear moved in already. We're getting some stuff set up. Frank's on a phone call. I'm making coffee over here at our little coffee station, and Frank is trying to get my attention. And he's talking to somebody. I'm like, who's coming into the sanctuary early in the morning? This is odd. What's happening
It was
here?
a very confusing one because I'm on the phone talking to somebody,
Yeah, Frank's having
and
a
a police officer just walked in.
How did I miss all that?
The door was unlocked?
And I locked
He walked in?
He just walked in.
I locked everything yesterday afternoon, and this morning I get here and stuff is unlocked. So I don't know if the cleaning crew thought they were locking things when they were actually unlocking them last night.
What is happening?
So it's a good thing that Safety Harbor is now viewed as the safest city in Florida, because apparently there are multiple doors into our worship center that were unlocked last night. But yeah,
It's a normal day at Lakeview.
don't get into that. So Frank and I are in here, and a police officer walks into the worship center, this door right past where Tim is sitting, and I'm so because I'm like, I assume the door is locked, and Frank, you started the conversation, but you
What's
were on
funny? I was on the phone having a deep conversation with someone from Lakeview, and I was like unbothered. I was like, I'm in Safety Harbor. I'm in the safest place in America right now.
Apparently.
I'm not in trouble. And so I was just like, Andrew. And he's like, I don't know.
My
fiddling
back
with
is
a-
turning because I'm fiddling with the coffee maker.
There's a
and
police
and
officer
there's a deputy like
entering the
walking into the
He's
church.
like, Andrew, there's a cop right here.
And I was like, oh, and I actually have met him before. It's one of the nice things about Safety Harbor is we have the same patrol deputies
That's
in
nice.
the city all the time. And what had happened, we have a preschool that meets in the back half of our facility here, which we should discuss at some point, because it's wonderful to have a preschool that's not a ministry of the church, but rather that pays rent to the church. And we had a preschool mom call the police this morning
What?
because
On you?
not on me.
Were you wearing pants?
I was wearing pants. Thank you for asking. In Florida, we now have the free open carry law, and a preschool mom was dropping off a preschool child, and there's a guy who lives nearby who walks his dog and goes through our parking lot just about every day. And
So for funsies, he
for,
thought.
For funsies, thought, apparently he did this Friday as well.
Just
And so,
because?
Because he's allowed to carry, I should carry. And so when you're around a bunch of preschoolers,
I don't think that's the point of the law.
I don't think that's the point of the law either. But so the police officer was called out, didn't know which door he was coming in. And so Frank and I are in here, and a police officer walks in and is like, hey, apparently there's someone walking through the church with a gun.
To the church?
Well, not through the church
Parking lot.
property. Yeah. So, that's a thing now. So I was able to direct him to where the preschool entrance actually is, and he could have that conversation with them. But apparently now you're just allowed to walk around Florida with a gun.
So,
I didn't.
Tim's
I
should be.
I mean,
I've known this because I follow our local police on all the socials, and
you knew this was a thing.
They've been posting things like, here's what it means.
It's been a very big deal.
Here's
in the
what
church
it
world.
doesn't mean. I have not seen anything about it in church world. We might just be on different blogs.
Well, I guess for me, I have gone. There's probably been 36 emails, which was
That's 36.
we had to craft the policy at Lakeview Church. So I've just been looped in on all these emails with our safety team and our elders, and so I'm like, yeah, that looks good. So we had some signage come in, some stickers were already on the doors. I'm not seeing any stickers on your doors, by the way.
We don't have any stickers on our doors.
Are you guys gonna craft a policy? You're gonna put some stickers on the doors? Like, what are you gonna? Because you're allowed to say,
yes,
this property is not an open carry property.
No, Andrew's gonna say only 45s are stronger. Don't give me some.
Don't show up with a 22. That's the only gun I know.
Pete says that new signage came in handy at Lakeview. And here's the deal. We actually had more signage. I was a little taken back by the initial amount of signage.
Yeah, billboard.
See, that's
So I had said, hey, can we remove some of the signage? I'm good with the window stickers. And then the argument was, well, if they park way out in the parking lot and they're open carry, they won't see that until they
So
get
what does this mean? Like, are they like? Do they have a holster? I don't know. I didn't see this guy.
For sure.
I think he was like, got something strapped over his shoulder or something. I don't know.
Well, so what we're going to do at Lakeview is we will have signage in the property that's not going to be as obnoxious, that we will have out. There will be more of it. And then the recommendation from our safety leader was we should be able to pull back on some of the signage in a few months after the initial, like what's happening now is people are like, oh, I can do this, so I'm going to.
But
once it starts to die down
what
a
is
little
it that you can do? If you like want to walk around with a shotgun, you're welcome to?
I mean, you're allowed to open carry.
Okay.
Wild Wild West.
I mean, this is welcome to Florida.
I have
Will West, Desperado.
I have a necklace.
That's
I have some Cuban links, and I put my gun like as like up and down. This is a really bad joke. Anyways,
That was. I mean, I believed you.
yeah.
Are you a gun owner?
I mean, we
Frank?
could look up the official statute and
Frank, let's.
determine it.
Are you a gun owner?
I
You can.
yeah, I
tell
am.
the truth.
I do
Okay.
own a weapon. I don't open carry, but I do have my concealed carry.
Yeah.
But I don't carry my concealed carry.
We've been friends for more than a decade, and we've never had this conversation.
We never
before.
had this conversation.
Because it's not something that's really all that important to either of us. I'm assuming, or it's a part of your identity that you hide. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, Andrew, are you a gun owner?
No. I'm not a gun owner. Are you?
I am.
I had no idea.
I guess I don't know why it would be like discussed.
I have.
When things were,
This is a change to the podcast. Does this make you uncomfortable?
No, it doesn't make me uncomfortable.
I
but
don't have my
again,
concealed carry. My gun is at home, locked up in a safe.
have knowing both of you very well. I'm surprised that it's never come up between Tim and I.
We had
I mean, Tim
Lakeview-
convinced me to buy a bidet, and he won't talk about. He doesn't talk about his firearms.
We had a Lakeview member who was very concerned about my safety about 5 years ago.
Do you know what? I do remember someone gave you a gun.
Well, they gave me the money to go purchase a gun. So it was, please go buy a gun. Please buy a gun safe. Make sure that you have this with you. And yeah, so I do. I haven't gotten it out in a while, but I do.
Jake, it's funny. Can I tell you something that that happened at our church in Milwaukee once?
Yeah.
I don't know if Wisconsin is. I think Wisconsin actually might be an open carry state. I don't remember. I don't actually know the exact rule, but someone who wanted to join our safety team open carried with a chest holster.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And
Just
we
in
were
case.
like, whoa, this is not what we expected you to do. So,
I mean, Jake says crazy. Washington is an open carry state. It's a non-issue. Never had anyone open carry to church. Lots of concealed. We have always had lots of concealed.
See,
it's funny that Andrew, you've already had this happen. It's on your property.
That's and again, I have no issue with.
Jake, I was like, it's going to be a non-issue, and then I get to Safety Harbor this morning, and it's literally happening.
Was the police officer still in the parking lot when you got here? Yeah,
I didn't know why he was out there, but apparently now I do.
When I was visiting a church in Arkansas, I think last summer, maybe 2 summers ago, a guy shook hands, like had a holster on his hip, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So, but that's that was in Paris, Arkansas.
I feel like Arkansas is more chill.
Yeah,
I can see Safety Harbor.
Seeing
a weapon would be shocking.
Why is it that it's more chill for someone to carry a gun out in public? I would think not carrying a gun would be the more chill.
I think.
Why?
I think there are some parts of this country.
When did I become the snowflake? What is happening
Sorry,
in
Andrew,
my life?
I'm covering you up right now because Ronald says
I was a college Republican.
One day at my last church, a kids ministry volunteer was rounding up kids, as you do, but in the hustle, his ankle holster decided to give out, and his gun fell to the floor in a circle of third graders. Our concealed carry policy was written the next day, and those kids will have a story that they will cherish for life.
At my church
That's
in
a crazy
Texas,
story.
and I'm
That
sure
is
I've told this before,
wild.
but
That is wild.
between services, you go through and you get the bulletins and stuff, kind of straighten. And it was one of my weeks to be on the in sanctuary duty, and so we're straightening up between services. And a lady had left her purse, and she was an off-duty cop and had a gun in the purse that she had forgotten in her seat at church.
Yep.
So if you're gonna carry, remember to bring it with you. But
Wise words.
I am. So here is my
Wise words.
here's my policy for the Larson family. I believe wholeheartedly in the Second Amendment. I have 4 boy children, and so my dad tells the story that like a week or so after I was born, there had been a kid had found a gun somewhere in Illinois and where I lived, where I was born. And so my dad went and sold all his guns because he's like, we've got a little boy in the house. Yep. Little boys like toy guns or whatever.
Yep.
So my dad got rid of all his guns, and he would like tell that story at dinner parties or whatever. And I always thought, that is what the heck, Dad? Like, who do you think I am? And then I like had this flashback to him telling that story, and me and my childhood best friend, his like mom like was outside or something, and so he's like, hey, come here. And so like we crawled under his parents' bed where his dad like had all of his guns. It was like, check it out.
So they weren't locked up?
No.
Oh.
And so we were like under the bed looking at his dad's guns.
Yeah.
And so my dad told that story of selling his guns because little boy in the house. And so it's never anything that really interested me. I
mean, you're a pretty strong guy. Like you got
I can
weapons
listen.
right there on you.
I've got 2 dogs in my house. If anybody tries to break in, they will be licked to death by the scarier of the 2 dogs, and then the dog that looks sweeter will run away and bark in a corner. But
Andrew, when's the last time you fired a weapon?
I fired a weapon this summer in Arkansas.
That's more recent than me.
because my sister-in-law's boyfriend had a new, and he was like teaching Landon, my oldest, how to shoot, and he was like, "Do you want to?" So Landon was like shooting the big guns. I shot a .22, and I was like, all right, it's just like summer camp back in middle school. But that was the last time I had. But between 7th grade and the summer of 2025, I fired a weapon exactly 0 times.
I can understand, not to make the topic, not to change the conversation to be very serious, but I can understand why over in the preschool they would be freaked out. Because what happened yesterday?
But
LDS Church
absolutely
in Michigan.
Terrible.
I mean, it's a scary time.
But it's so bizarro world because, again, more chill in Safety Harbor than so now we've got to deal with, do we have a policy, but also there's a public alleyway that goes between our parking lot and the lot to the side. So if someone is walking through the alleyway, they're allowed to do whatever they want because it's public property. Was not what I expected to start our morning or to start this podcast, but
Ronald says, being in Texas, our last pastor said the thing he dreaded most was if there was ever an active shooter situation in our church, not just for the shooter, but for all the crossfire that would occur. Apparently, several church members, including little old ladies, have told him they do their part to keep the church safe. Have we ever told you the importance of having a safety team and a policy in place for said safety team?
And we have an episode on Practically Pastoring.
We will be happy to share that with you at any time.
we could drop that in the show. We could drop that in.
That episode has been really good and profitable. I mean,
helpful.
Profitable?
We haven't made
Are we
a
making
dime.
money, Frank? Are you not sharing with the rest of us?
Yeah,
what? Profitable? We've been doing this thing for how many?
Profitable in the metaphorical sense.
Okay. Not the actual sense.
And, I mean, actually, it might be profitable for him.
Maybe for him.
Yeah.
People are calling him to come out and do trainings.
He's got a lot of calls and emails. But like, I mean, he talks specifically about not preaching the gun. And I even said, like, I'm afraid sometimes in the church world with safety teams that sometimes someone wants to like cosplay as a cowboy.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, this is my time. It's like, you never went to like any kind of training, but you have a gun and therefore you're like super stoked about someone looking suspicious. But
my thing is Lakeview is surrounded by glass. If someone wants to take out Tim, like,
they shouldn't do it from the worship center.
And our safety team, like our lead has said, like, we can protect you from inside the building, and they do 2 sweeps of the woods before service too.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
had no idea.
Yeah, they do. But
Two sweeps is pretty crazy. That's
I've
awesome.
I've heard tales of the wood sweeps that they do to make sure there's no one like literally camped out just waiting to.
But all they
snipe
just see,
you?
Yes.
all they see is the wild boar that's damaging the property. That's all they
Yes,
see out
that is
there.
that is accurate.
I feel like our churches are very different sometimes.
You know
So
what happens here? Tiny lizards that find in the
there's
bush.
lizards
squirrels.
that come in because our
Police officers make their way in.
yeah. On Sunday morning, there's cows and stuff outside because there's a petting zoo.
Oh,
at-
I was
at-
like, what are you talking about? Okay.
So, but the cow trailer parks right here, and they get out, and it's like a cow on a leash. But again, everybody else is looking this way, so I'm the only person in the church looking at the cow outside. It's a very different.
Very rude to say. I'm the one looking at the cow.
It's an actual cow, so it's not rude. It's a
I mean, there's-
it's a bovine animal.
I mean, there's deer and wild turkey that often pass by Lakeview.
Often.
I am baffled, and now
There was a raccoon rescue yesterday.
Was it rescued?
It was rescued and taken to the animal hospital.
A raccoon got ran over on our busy street, and there was a guy.
like on East Lake Road.
Right in
Yeah.
front of
Okay.
Lakeview.
And there's a guy who's on the side of the road. All I can see is he was wearing like a white shirt and he has hands on his hips, waiting for someone to come take the raccoon. And I'm like, what's crazy is the last
Just
time,
back over that thing.
the last time an animal got injured on our property, it was a deer.
It's a little
And
bit
the
different.
Police, and was it a police officer?
The deer was not dead yet
The deer was not dead yet, and a police officer just discharged his weapon on the deer.
while I was preaching.
Is
Wha-
that
So we were like, there was a word.
Safety team members are sprinting in the back. I
What?
just heard a gunshot. I'm like,
This
just
is-
keep going, I guess.
not where I thought this episode was going? Like, is that a policy? Like, is that like if a police officer comes upon it? Because every time you discharge your weapon, you've got to file like a full report.
Yes.
But is that it's the humane thing to do? To
I don't know. We asked the police, please, like, let us know next time because we've got an entire church service happening with kids on site. Like, when we hear our weapon, we've got safety team members that are going
What's
to.
funny is like when
kick it
you
into gear.
say Tarpon Springs, you don't think of what we're talking about.
No.
You think of Greek people and the sponge dogs. You don't think of.
it's it's
I know, this
East
is
Lake
far
Far
Trinity.
enough inland.
It's
Yeah.
basically Trinity, but nevertheless, it's just interesting. This conversation is getting crazy.
The
But thank you for
conversation's
that.
wild.
Hey, keep writing comments so I can buy these guys lunch.
I'm getting hungry. Frank, you've been gone for a couple of weeks, and we haven't okay. So we've been up to date thanks to the videos, but we haven't exactly we haven't had a chance to chat. So can you kind of fill in the rest of the watching
So
world?
you were gone for 2 weeks. You made a lot of videos.
How did everything go? Overall thoughts?
Did
Are
you make
are
more
okay?
videos or more money?
So, earlier this summer, Ryan Trahan did that video, 50 States in 50 Days, where he goes
One
to
of the greatest series of all time.
50 different Airbnbs.
Yep.
And I told Tim, like, you know, it'd be cool if I did something similar to that while I was on this road trip. I regret ever committing to that because, dude, I don't know. I mean, I know how they do it. He has editors.
He's an editing team.
He's a team of people editing. He just sends them the footage and they edit
You
it.
were working.
I'm like, dude, every night I come home from a dessert party that I'm hosting, and Corey's like, okay, I'm going to bed. And I'm like, fine. And I'm like,
I'm gonna edit.
on a computer at a dining room table trying to edit these videos.
But 1 billion people watched them.
Not a billion, but it was
Million.
good. Ultimately, I spent the last 2 weeks doing a road trip to Milwaukee and back, where I met with over 100 people to ask for people to partner with Crossing Crown Church. And with that being said, we added. I mean, the last video I posted has all the numbers, but a bunch of people joined our prayer team.
Love it.
Quite a few people gave.
Hang on. David, what the heck?
What happened?
We'll get to it.
Okay.
We'll get to it.
We had people who, they tell us in fundraising, there's going to be people who you think are going to give that won't give, and there's people who you didn't think you're going to give that were going to give a lot.
You're welcome.
And that's exactly what happened. Like, we had some very generous donations.
He didn't know that the Larson family was going to be one of the big donors.
Yeah.
Listen, Safety Harbor Community Church parked for Crossing Crown last Friday night at Third Friday.
I am
So
very
all
proud
of the
of you.
citizens of Safety Harbor coming to be debaucherous
Supported Crossing Crown Church.
supported Crossing Crown Church.
We I went on this trip only expecting one church to partner with us. Now there's 3 churches partnering with
Hey.
us, so that was good. I talked to some other churches, and there were people who I did not meet on this trip who only saw our videos who started partnering with Crossing Crown
Look at
by
that.
giving monthly. So there
Boom.
is some fruit from the videos. It was a good time, man. It was a lot of hard work.
Are you tired?
So what were you
was.
editing them with?
Premiere Pro.
Okay, because
I would literally take footage, upload it to Premiere Pro, and then edit it.
You're doing real editing.
I could have done my phone, but I don't know, my thumbs are too big.
because I bought when I was on my sabbatical trip last year, and I was not quite the same thing, but I used a microphone and did voiceover with a little bit of text, and I just used CapCut.
I downloaded CapCut. I also downloaded Instagram Edits, which is their
Okay.
own thing.
Yeah.
They're great, but it's like anything, bro. Once you have a workflow on a certain program,
it's hard to switch it
It's
up.
hard to switch it. It's like running a sermon. It's like I
Yeah.
don't want to switch this up. And I'm way faster on Premiere Pro than being like, okay, let me move this size of this thing.
The little bitty
It's like-
bars you're dragging.
I
get
I
it.
get much more accuracy in Premiere Pro, but I do not recommend anyone else to do this. It was even I was trying to be 2 days behind, and there was one day where I was like stressing, but we did it, dude.
Without an editing team, maybe just do like a weekly update.
I feel like it.
David, this is great.
Read it.
When our youth minister was getting married 3-ish years ago, his best man shot himself in the foot, literally, at the rehearsal dinner with a pistol he had in his pocket. The safety was off. Everyone was wondering why the best man wasn't at the wedding the next day. In his pocket.
First of all,
I'm glad that went down.
he ruined his pants. That's got to
The
be.
rental.
Oh, I hope they weren't rental pants.
I mean,
No, you wouldn't wear rental pants to the rehearsal.
Oh, yeah,
wow.
Okay, but I mean,
that's crazy.
that's
Ronald says,
That happened
I
to Plexico
want
Burris one
to lunch with you guys. Ronald, you
Get over
know
here.
the invite is always open.
You just
Also, not
have
going
to
to lie,
fly over from San Antonio.
it's incredible what iMovie can get done.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of things you can actually
you
do.
can fake it really well with
in
iMovie.
iMovie
is tricky to do the vertical phone video.
Not anymore.
Oh, see, I haven't played with newest updates.
Especially if you're doing iMovie on your phone.
Oh, yeah.
So just
Yeah.
it's kind of like back in the day, Andrew and I, before we were good at anything else, we were good at Keynote.
We
So
were really good at
We would
Keynote.
just edit everything in Keynote like it was Photoshop.
Yeah,
Crazy.
And we would
I know
like
you
we
guys
were
did that.
quick.
yeah, we were.
Like we could do like
Your
lightning
stuff
fast.
that you were uploading to DYM.
All of our DYM,
were
like
edited in-
nothing
in
was
all of it was
done in
Keynote.
Photoshop. It was all done in Keynote.
That's pretty impressive.
Every graphic for a Tim and Andrew series on
Back in the
DYM back in the day, which sold lots and lots of copies, all just Keynote. So if you work in the software that you
wild.
know, and yeah. Well, what I've come to realize is that two of my closest friends in the world are gun nuts, and I had no idea.
I wouldn't say we're gun nuts. We happen to be gun.
And Andrew, we
owners.
want to show you.
Wow. So how does that work? So if you have a policy and hey, we're on private property, so you can't, no open carry on private property, but you can conceal carry on private property
Yes.
because.
Who's asking? Like, who's like doing the pat down?
But in general, like if you have the same sticker, hey, you're not allowed to bring your gun. In theory, you're not allowed to. The same sticker would hold off any law-abiding citizen from bringing their concealed carry into your property as well.
The sticker says no open carry policy,
Okay,
not concealed. That's
because
the
you
difference.
want certain people to be concealed carry.
That is very possible.
Gotcha.
Scranton has the reservation in for us, guys. The Scranton Chili's, 1
Okay.
p.m. We could potentially be there.
I feel God in his chilies. Isn't that? That's from
Jake
him.
says
That's the one.
Descript was the last software I tried. Jake, I've also used Descript when I need to get the. You can drop an audio file into Descript and it will transcript it for you very, very fast. I prefer reading sermons, so if there's a sermon online that I love but I don't want to listen to
You
it,
don't
I'd
want to
rather read
listen
it, I will
to
drop
Matt
it into-
Chandler for 53 minutes.
I will drop it into
Yeah.
Descript. That way I can have the
Smart,
copy of it.
smart.
Doug, he says, I've been doing this for 10 years. I do all of my graphics. I believe this, Doug. All of his graphics on PowerPoint.
Listen, if
I
you have
don't
a
doubt it.
software that you know and like, I get it. I completely.
I mean, Safety Harbor Church still does their presentation from
we
PowerPoint.
do. We rock PowerPoint. Now, I personally am a Keynote user still, and so I export my Keynote into images and then create a new Keynote so that the fonts don't get changed and export the new Keynote of the image files to PowerPoint, which is way too many
PowerPoint?
steps. PowerPoint, yeah.
Is that how you call it?
It's like you put makeup on. Yeah.
So it's like so every morning your PowerPoint presentation is like 1,000 slides long because of like every single slide for the song. It's like,
Yes.
Yes.
They're not going back to the
Yeah.
course. Like the course is just continuing.
Yeah.
Like it's not like we can't just go back.
man,
Yeah.
that's I mean,
So my sermons are maybe 18 or 20 slides because
That sounds right. That's about.
I have the
text.
the text and then the background
title slide
title
and stuff.
slide. But everything else, yeah, I can pull up on our computer that has the practically pastoring background behind us. and
Doug,
tell
we agree
how
with you.
many-
Using PowerPoint in service, though, that's a little bit too
Listen.
much. I'm with you. You know we're with you. We've been giving Andrew a hard time about this for a very, very
Listen,
long time.
I am working with what the worship leaders want to use, and if that's what they want to use, I don't want to create slides for worship songs. So if that's what they're
Imagine
gonna
like
use,
just already having the songs in a database
Listen.
that you can access, and it's only when you're doing a new song do you have to actually do anything. It's a beautiful thing.
it sure
Just
is.
saying, we could
I-
make your worship leader's life easier.
I wonder if you guys would save money also if you brought in because ProPresenter also has a live stream feature in it, and I wonder if you would save money if you did both of them together.
It would be a sweet
maybe
option for
Ecamm?
this setup.
We do Ecamm and Restream,
You wouldn't have to do any of those things.
but I like because and Ecamm,
I'm not. I use Ecamm and
I would say
Restream for me personally. At the church we use Resi now, but I get it. It's easy.
Ecamm also has its own thing where you can go to multiple things. I like Restream because it gives you the stats, and
I agree.
to keep stats.
Proclaim is pretty good.
We like to know how many
Ronald
live
says,
viewers
yeah,
we
but
have
what
and
if there was
whatnot.
like this super easy program that you just kind of dragged and dropped in everything? That would be like a pro thing, right?
That would be.
A
That would be a
thing?
pro presenter
Pro.
thing. But
See,
that's
lights, you're
not
not
what we're
wrong. If you've heard of Proclaim, it's kind of the in between where you don't quite want to get out of the PowerPoint world and you're not ready for pro presenter.
Isn't Logos make Proclaim? I'm pretty sure.
think they do.
I think that people who make Logos.
I think so. Listen, we've got more to talk about than just the guns and the gun-loving people sitting on either side of me.
for that.
I'm shocked, not appalled, but I can't believe we haven't had these conversations in
I'm
our
surprised
years
you're
of
so
friendship.
surprised by this.
It doesn't seem like that big of a deal.
Again,
to me.
I do remember Tim getting
It was years ago.
I'm
been in
not,
the safe for
I'm not
years now.
surprised that either of you own guns. I'm surprised that it's not a conversation that we've
Also,
ever had.
statistically, in America, isn't there like 3
More-
guns
yeah,
for
there's
every
more
people?
guns than people. Yes, but I know people because again, I spent a lot of time in Arkansas. I know people that have more guns than teeth. So
That's
that's
something.
yeah. Listen, I want to run something by you guys.
Listening.
I had what I think was meant to be a compliment from a congregant the other day, and we were talking in my office, and he was saying really nice things about the church. They're not quite like an every week attending family, and his wife regularly attends a church where you and I both used to work.
Sure.
And he said that he just didn't really resonate with the preaching there as much.
Get it.
And likes our style better. And he said, you know who your teaching reminds me of? It reminds me of Dr. Jordan Peterson. Do you know him? And I just thought, isn't he famously not a Christian? that was
I was like, I don't know if I want to be reminded of that.
but
You remind me of someone who doesn't love Jesus.
But
did you take
So
that?
I said that to someone else. Like, no, I'm pretty sure he's like converted recently. But like and is it because I wear a tie? Is that what this is? I know. Listen, Jordan Peterson is dressed way nicer than I am because he wears usually like a three-piece suit. But it was such an odd thing because I'm like, I don't know. And I've
But
heard
they meant it as like a compliment.
Oh, he meant it. He very
like-
much.
it was like high
he
praise.
very much meant it as a compliment, and I think it was like logic driven, and it's not. He was comparing me
Okay.
to kind of an over
Okay.
emotional.
Sure.
I'm going to tug at your heartstrings kind of preaching style.
Sure.
So I certainly get that, and again, I really do think it was meant as a compliment, but it was just one of those things where I was like, thank you. Also, I feel like I need to unpack this
Thank you? Question mark?
a little bit.
I love Frank's currently researching the pricing point for Proclaim
And so
ProPresenter.
we've got a 65-inch
That's
TV
all I'm seeing right now.
behind our camera. So
Ronald says, "I love the. I intend this as a compliment, but we took it for evil."
I didn't take it for evil because again, this is someone who I know, but I just thought that I mentioned it to another buddy of mine who laughed for about 15 or 20 minutes
That's
because the other, he was like, "Yeah, you're not nearly as intellectually."
Were you in series when he heard you preach?
Yeah, and he has been attending regularly.
Okay.
For a good year plus.
So where are you at right now? What'd you preach yesterday?
So we are still going through John. So we were in John 5, the healing at the pool of Bethesda.
You have multiple sermons on that.
I do.
If I remember correctly,
We had
when I preached John 5, I had like 3 sermons. 2 of them were yours. One of them was mine that I was working.
We
from.
had a
we had
DYM resource called "Do You Really Want a Miracle?"
That's the one. It was a great resource.
And that graphic was made on Keynote by doing a Google image search for like rippled water and then just like raising the text in front.
I don't know why that one stood out. To me, that was one of the better resources for some reason. I just thought it was really well done.
I think it was like 18 or 1900 words, and my Sunday sermons are closer to 3,000.
Is it that short?
Well, our youth group manuscripts were not as long as because we ended with a call to small groups in all of those because we had a small group curriculum included with it. So it was a lot of the application and fleshing out was done in small group, not in the sermon itself.
City Light says, I've been leading worship for a long time, and years ago, someone said to me, I can see why your hero is Bob Dylan. That's funny.
I love backhanded insults.
It's like
backhanded compliments from people.
But it's like I really mean this as a compliment. You sing just like this guy who's famous for not being able to sing. And again, like, is it because I sit down too?
It's got to be.
I mean,
you have a very casual approach.
In my brain, when I think of Jordan Peterson, I think of him sitting down, like in an armchair with his leg crossed, dressed impeccably.
When I think of Jordan Peterson,
I'm not dressed nearly as well.
I think he's a really smart thinker. I think when he gets pressed specifically about Christianity, he says a lot of things that don't give an answer. Does that make sense?
Again, do you understand why I'm like confused by this compliment?
He's like been asked directly, "Do you believe in Jesus?" And he's like, "Jesus is an idea of." It's like, what are we talking about? It's really fun. I mean, I think he's a little bit more explicit than that, but he's pretty ambiguous. So I can see why that'd be like a jarring.
Actually, I love where this episode has gone now because now we have some great comments about some other compliments and maybe some critiques. So you can send in your best. Jared's got to go in here. Seasoned lady, try to provide some constructive criticism, which we're all very much fans of. And she said, "I move too much. I make her neck hurt." I guess that's like this number. Just walk. Maybe her peripheral's not very wide, so she has to narrow in, and every time he moves, her neck has to move.
Did you tell her to sit further back?
Jared said, "I tried to be still, and I have trouble being still."
Do you know what helps with that? A chair, a stool.
Wow.
But that kind of feedback is good because it's contextual. Like, people will tell me. I remember one person told me, I talk too fast for their hearing aids. Their hearing aids.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to talk slower because of that person.
Yeah.
So that feedback's good.
Speaking of hearing aids, one was going off in Lakeview yesterday. It was like everyone's like looking around the room, and the person who's like it's going crazy.
Oh, that's
it's just
the worst.
It's like dog whistle level.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a Florida thing, but that happens every other week.
We definitely experience that more than lots of other places, I'm sure.
Jared says, I walk around a lot. You could walk around while holding a stool, and then every now and then sit down. That might help.
Imagine just like holding it the whole time. That's really funny. Oh, man.
Tim, you ever received a compliment you didn't know what to do with?
Andrew, I've gotten a few, I think Frank's term is backhanded criticisms. Where you want to take it well, but you're like, I think you meant that.
I think you were trying
nicest
again,
way
and this guy
possible.
was, and I'm
going to receive it in the nicest way.
We know
possible.
who he was.
I'm probably going to overthink it,
and he was comparing my preaching style to somebody else who is.
And they probably like Jordan Peterson, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably a Jordan Peterson fan.
Yeah, and so again, I took it as, but it was just funny because I don't know, and maybe because I don't. He's not preaching, and so I would never compare myself to that style of rhetoric or communication, and so it was. I don't know. I've been chewing on it all week.
You do,
and I couldn't wait to talk about it with you guys.
It's a very interesting comment.
If you were to think of another communicator that's like Andrew, who would you say it is?
Jesus. Frank, you have somebody that
Frank,
you're
you've
thinking
got
of.
someone in mind. When you think of Andrew sitting and discipling his people,
Whoopi Goldberg.
How dare you? I think I would much rather have the Jordan Peterson. Now, here's the thing. Whoopi Goldberg in Sister Act every time.
Excellent.
Every single time.
Sister Act 2 is even better.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of
one of
people-
the rare times that the sequel is better. The soundtrack of the sequel way better.
Earl, I
Because-
was thinking this too. He said Andrew preaches like one of the Stanleys, but not Charles.
See, again,
I had
that's
the same thought.
That's meant as an insult, yet I take it as a huge compliment.
If you know
I mean,
Andrew, you
so-
know he
This
loves
Stanley,
him some
the
Andy
Stanley
Stanley.
he's referencing literally wrote a book that's a textbook about preaching.
It's not a
Yeah.
bad textbook.
It's not the worst. for
Listen,
sure.
in one of the classes that I teach, it's a syllabus that I inherited, but in one of the classes that I teach,
textbook?
7 practices for effective ministry is one of the textbooks. So, and in one of my doctoral classes, Deep and Wide was a textbook that was like used as a negative example.
Really?
Yeah, it was a.
I read Deep and Wide
I
twice.
think it was Deep and Wide, and then one of, stink, what's his name? He's at Midwestern Seminary. He's the pastor there at Liberty Baptist Church. I'm forgetting his name.
And he said
but-
no go on Deep and Wide.
No, but he has a book that was like compared to it, and I'm completely spacing on his name. It's gonna,
Frank,
like, the
what
minute we
is-
finish, it's gonna.
What is the worst book on preaching? Ronald needs to know.
Those who
what-
wrestle with God. That's a Jordan Peterson.
Jordan
book.
Peterson.
I don't know. The worst book on preaching? I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't think of a.
I
I don't read it. So
I had to skim. a
Jared
few
Wilson
preaching
is the
Jared
book
Wilson.
that I
That's
was.
him. That's him.
Oh, I like Jared.
But so
I
there was
like
like a
Jared, too.
Jared Wilson book that was like hey, this is the better way to do church compared to Deep and
City
Wide.
Light
was
says
the-
not a big fan of the Stanley model of preaching. Like I'm not saying you have to be a fan of it. I'm just saying I thought the book was compelling. I like that it had a different view than what I would typically do. I'm intrigued by different styles.
get
Earl says, "What's Driscoll's latest book?"
Because let me tell you, that's me. I yell a lot. I point, I yell, I sweat, I stand. I don't do any of these
Andrew,
things.
apparently I made a big preaching boo-boo recently.
Ooh, I'm ready for it.
So we're in Exodus.
Yes.
Very familiar stories. I think I made a false assumption. I think the line, Frank, you can go here. I think the line was something like, maybe many of you grew up hearing this story.
Oh.
And what I failed to think about was there's probably people in the room that didn't grow up hearing these stories that we have heard a bazillion times. So like when I'm preaching through a familiar text, I will typically try to find that one golden nugget, like that Hebrew word that, I didn't know it meant that. Like I didn't know that the same word used for basket is the word for ark. So like we leaned into tiny ark for baby Moses. And everyone, like the seasoned Christians were like, I didn't know it was an ark. And I'm like, baby, tiny ark. It's like, that was like kind of a cool thing.
Tiny ark, do 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 do. Tiny ark, do 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 do.
So I think, Frank, did I say you probably grew up hearing this story and then someone came to you and was like, actually, I didn't grow up hearing these
So
stories?
should we have a Prince of Egypt showing at Lakeview?
I mean, it might be time. It's
mean,
got one of the
hey,
greatest
I was
soundtracks.
another great
One of
soundtrack.
the best
The
soundtracks
greatest
ever.
soundtracks,
It was
yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think that I was speaking to someone who has been to church in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Sure.
And she bought a new Bible, and she's like, I want to know how to read my Bible. I've never really read it before. I'm new to church. And you know what she said? I haven't told you this part. The part that like really encouraged me the most was she said, I really do not want to be a lukewarm Christian.
Wow.
And like that was her words. And I was like,
Wow.
oh my goodness, let's
Love it.
go.
Love it.
And so the
Love
first
it.
thing I did is I asked her to open her she had like a little Bible case. It was cute.
Yeah.
I said, can you open that? I just want to see what translation you have.
Was there a zipper in a pouch?
Yes, there
Oh,
was a zipper
I
in a
love
pouch.
me a
We have
zipper in a pouch.
multiples.
She went
at
to
Lakeview.
she probably went to the Oasis coffee shop in Newport Richie and went to that little bookstore.
Nothing wrong with that.
But
Because she can't go to Family Christian anymore.
she had a fine English translation. And I was like, okay, good. I said, there's only a few translations of the Bible I wouldn't recommend, especially for where you are in your walk. She had like an NIV. It was fine.
Good.
And then I
I
just-
preach out of the NIV.
I was just encouraging her. She said, she's like, yeah, I just want to know more about my Bible. Like even today, the pastor said, we all know this story, but I don't know this story. And I was like, oh, like,
That's good.
let me help you and stuff like
That's
that.
good.
So, I mean, I think you have to just constantly ask yourself, what is the current climate of your congregation? If you do have a lot of literally unchurched people,
honestly, at Lakeview,
which is growing.
We haven't had a season of unchurched or newer.
Yeah.
Like most of our growth in recent years has been transfer growth, and it's been within the last few months we're starting to see baptisms with an uptick and new believers with an uptick, and people who are now having these conversations of I don't read my Bible regularly, but I want to start reading my Bible regularly. So I mean, it's a beautiful thing.
Do you see the comment from City Lights Church there, Timmy?
City Lights says, I'm a big fan of a book
Yeah, there we go. That's
called The Homiletical Plot by Eugene Lowry, but it's almost impossible to do. I'm not familiar with it, but it sounds intriguing.
sounds like a book that you should check out.
Ronald says faithful but flawed.
Other way around.
Sorry, flawed but faithful. I mean, both sentences still work. 3 reviews, 5 stars. Tim said he's going to use the TP. Pete.
Oh, that's funny.
First of all, how dare you?
That's a good joke.
How dare you? I love you dearly, though.
Timmy, as we were putting together show notes, you just said it was business as usual.
Look, it wasn't a crazy different week at Lakeview. It was
no
just,
cops showed up.
There were no cops.
I mean, there is cops. Every there's cops.
We always have cops.
The sweep of the woods didn't reveal anything.
I noticed the sweep of the woods happening on Sunday, and so I thought, okay, good. They've checked the woods before I preach.
How many people are sweeping the woods?
I just see the golf cart going by into the woods, and I know they're doing a quick wood sweep. And
So if you're going to take a shot at Tim, you need a ghillie suit.
Ghillie suit, and you'll probably want to be further back into the woods and then make your way forward after I've already started preaching. That if you really want to take me out.
Okay. I don't have any desire to take you out, so
I have a list.
okay.
I've told my wife and my son, and I haven't shared the list with my son. My wife has the list. Like if something were to happen to me,
Check out these people.
There's 5 on the list.
I'm not one of them, right?
You are not.
Okay.
But if something were to happen to me, you're probably going to want to go here first. Other than that, I have no idea.
Okay.
So business as usual at Lakeview. I've missed Frank. He's been out for a while. I'm excited to have him back. A couple of meetings this week that Frank is in on with me, so stoked to have Frank back in my life for as long as I get him. I think there was a part of me the last 2 weeks I was like, I need to get used to this. Frank is going to be
leaving you.
He's going to be planting Cross and Crown.
Do you ever do that thing where you hire one of your really good buddies to come work with you, but then he's only actually on staff with you for a year, and you're like,
But the thing is, Frank isn't just a
miss
good
him.
buddy. Frank is an actually good employee. He gets the job done. He understands the ministry side of things.
You know, it's probably good that we're only here for a year because we might hate each other.
By the time the honeymoon phase is
I
over,
gotta get
Frank's
outta here.
gone.
So what you're saying is Tim's a terrible boss? Got
No.
it. Cool.
City Lights is wondering
fun.
this. Andrew, you could tackle this. What are your thoughts on the Message Bible? I'm a fan of it as a paraphrase, and after reading Peterson's biography, I have some appreciation for
Peterson
it.
is the man.
I
What he tried to
have no...
Again, as a paraphrase?
Yeah, as a paraphrase, it's great. As a dad of kids that have reading comprehension issues sometimes, I think it's wonderful. I don't think that Eugene Peterson's paraphrases are divinely inspired, but neither do I think my sermons are divinely inspired, and I hope my sermons help people understand Scripture better. And so I think that anything that helps someone understand Scripture better is a good thing.
I think paraphrases are like in my mind, I treat them more like commentaries.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
And I think commentaries have its place. And I think the Message actually does some really cool creative stuff of illuminating the text in a way that is that isn't so clear in a more rigid translation.
Yeah.
But I would always tell people that a Message Bible is like a good companion I would encourage people to get like an NIV or an NLT just because they're much more readable. It's still a good faithful text. I mean, we preach from the ESV, and I love the ESV for preaching, but I wouldn't do it for personal study. But it's a good translation. But I would get younger believers to NIV or NLT. Message is fine. I would tell them to stay away from the Mormon Bible or Jehovah's Witness Bible.
Yeah.
And then there's
not a
some
real
other
Bible.
weird translations that
And if someone is reading the Message as opposed to whatever pop psychology Christian self-help book, good. That's way more devotional than reading Your Best Life Now or whatever book you want to throw under the bus. So I think anything that helps people understand Scripture is a good thing.
Yeah, it's a companion tool for sure.
And I read
You're a companion tool.
Peterson's biography. Once you read that, you're like, this guy's a brilliant.
Yeah.
This is so good.
Also, so my go-to commentary is by a former professor of mine, and because like I know him or knew him and knew how how he thought. He got up every morning, and the way that he did his devotions was he edited this very, very comprehensive commentary, and that was like his way of studying God's word every day.
Andy.
And putting it.
So, have you taken that resource
Yes,
and dropped it into ChatGPT?
1,000%.
I don't know. I think maybe you inspired me to do it, and I was like, oh,
What resource?
Dr.
send you the
Thomas
link.
Constable. It's Sonic Light.
completely free.
It is completely free.
They're all PDF downloads.
It's PDFs. It's footnoted. So the number of papers I wrote, they can't take my degrees away now. Probably the number.
the
of
footnotes were
the
brilliant.
number of papers that I wrote because
Got me through seminary.
He footnoted everything so well. So here are like 8 books on this passage.
And it was footnoted into Arabian already, so I was just able to.
Yeah.
Send it.
Yeah. So Dr. Thomas Constable, soniclight.com, or it's hosted on a church's website now instead of its own separate thing. But so like that was his devotions every day. He would get up and do that. And I think Eugene Peterson, for a decade of his life, he got up and worked on the message where it was a response to the study that he was already doing.
Yep.
He did the Greek and the Hebrew way better than you or I would ever do the Greek and the Hebrew anyway.
100%.
So I think it's very much the same thing. Like some people, they are going to do the full commentary as their way of study. Some people are going to do the paraphrase as their form of study. I think anything that helps people understand Scripture better is beneficial.
It is an absolutely beautiful thing. You know what else is a beautiful thing? Getting food
Lunch.
into my system.
It's lunchtime.
I'm ravenous.
Do you remember when we were like, hey guys, this is going to be a short show. We don't have a whole lot to discuss. And it's been an hour.
Then Andrew was like, "You guys have guns?"
Ronald says, no relation to Sonic Flood. No, there's no
No.
relation to the popular Christian band from the early 2000s.
I do love some Sonic Flood, though.
Who doesn't? Hey, I'm hungry. They're hungry. We got to eat.
I
We'll
also
be
like
back
Jars of Clay.
next
We
week.
should talk about them as well.
We'll be talking about all of your favorite contemporary Christian artists from the late 90s to early 2000s next week. We cannot wait to see you, to talk to you.
Frank is going to do his rendition of Ray Boltz. It's going to be so good.
What's a good Ray Boltz song?
I pledge allegiance to the
I
Lamb.
mean, that is a good Ray Boltz song.
Behold, he comes.
That's not Ray
That's
Boltz.
not Ray
right.
Boltz.
That's your like national anthem for you, right? We
I do love Days of
guys,
Elisha.
We didn't get raptured. We haven't talked about that.
We didn't
We
get
should have
raptured.
opened the show with our clothes just sitting
Oh,
there. Next week, we'll see if we get
next
raptured.
week, I'll wear clean underwear. Don't worry.
That's
Oh my gosh.
why. Why would
In
you
case
close
I
the
get
show with
raptured,
that?
I don't want them to find streaks.
You're done. We're done. Get out of here. See ya.